And now I can do it even faster and much more agilely, if that's a word. Okay, so now I'm really, I mean, it looks like my third finger is moving too, but that's just because, you know, it's kind of hard to, again, I'm not drinking tea, I'm playing the drums. So, okay, so now I'm exaggerating it by sticking out my pinky, but usually I would be doing this, but if you look, I'm really not using my my last two fingers. Now, if you watch carefully in some of my videos, if I'm doing an intricate, let's zoom out a little bit again. One day I'll get that right. Okay. If you watch my pinky finger carefully, if I do if I transition from a single stroke roll to a double stroke roll, you'll often see my pinky come out. And that's because I'm really trying to sort of use the finger control in that instance. So if I'm going something like this, and then I turn it into, if you watch carefully, you'll see my finger go like that. Okay, so just watch. Okay, so you can see it just sort of sticks down like that. And the reason is I've just found that it gets it out of the way, so I can really concentrate on those two fingers. So your basic, again, your basic going from this to now, let's put it on the drum set, okay? So let's just try and play like this on the drum set. Okay, and again, everything you do with your right, you do with your left. Okay, so again, just thumb and forefinger. Let's go a little faster this time. Okay, that's just the thumb and the forefinger. Now let's try and do the two fingers. As you can see, I'm totally French grip. I'm not moving my wrist at all. Okay, now I can play that using my wrist. But that's a completely different technique, and I rarely use that for fast singles or intricate. I hardly ever play. I can play it, obviously, but I just don't do it because it tenses my wrist up, and the tendons and the muscles on the top of my arm, just after 20 or 30 seconds of that, forget it, I'm out of here. So the way I found that out is by trying to play the beginning of Tom Sawyer using totally German grip, you know. Okay, you do that for 3 minutes straight, and you'll either have Popeye arms or you'll have a hurtin'. So if you know, I try and I guess in that instance, I'm probably playing the American matched. I'm not totally turned over. I'm not playing French. I can play it French. I can play it German, but I'm probably close to the 45 in that instance. And excuse me. And probably most of the time I'm playing the hi-hat, I'm probably as close to 45 as anything. So I'm not French, not German, kind of American. Okay, so in that case, I was using my wrist to bounce rather than my finger control. And you can actually see my wrist going up, my right wrist. And again, my little pinky's going out too. Okay, so the first exercise that I ever really got from anywhere that I actually tried to apply to definitively make my hands better was an exercise that I got from a Dave Weckl video, instructional video that he did, I don't know, probably late 80s, early 90s. I think it was called Back to Basics. And he basically showed how just by developing a good 3-stroke roll, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on, you could play anything. Never mind the rudiments, just develop this triple stroke roll, and then you can break it all down from there, because really, in the end of the day, everything is 1s and 2s and 3s. You can pretty much, make a 4 out of a 3 and a 1, or 2 2s, or 2 1s and a 2, or a 1 and a 2 and a 1, or whatever you want to use the combination. So if you can get to the point where you can play 1s, 2s, and 3s on each hand, you can basically make up the combinations thereafter of whatever rudiment you're trying to play or whatever pattern you're trying to play. So once again, by studying smart, by practicing smart, I call it over-practicing. So I'm going to develop my 3s really well, and then the 2s will be a piece of cake, and the 1s are a joke. So to do it slowly, this is what the first thing we need to do is develop a good 3 on my one hand, on each hand. So we're not going to let it bounce. We're not going to cheat and go. Not going to make it sloppy like that. We're playing 3 notes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But if you look at my arm, you'll see this kind of thing going on, okay? So it's kind of a pumping action. I think the molar pumping action is what is commonly referred to, but I don't really do a molar pumping action. I just kind of, watch and we'll see. So first of all, I always make sure that the drumstick is balanced nicely, and then I just play. Okay, so that pretty much right there at the end, that is a molar pumping action. But that's only if you're doing it with one hand. My whole thing is the most you're going to need is 3, okay? So now we do it on the left hand. Okay, so now let's put the 2 together. Okay, so that's still pretty slow, okay?